Running fans, jumping fans, throwing fans, all around athletics fans. Welcome to Talking in Ovals. How's it going, Dave?
I'm just glad that our cameras are off because I just can't help but just dance when our little man is running.
Oh, I pop every time
on the endless track that just keeps going. Just do.
Listen, it's just all about the effort. That's like us. We're endless. Yeah. We are going to be here forever.
I also just want to give a big shout out to Phil Grove and Robert Kellert for giving me a little bit of a chance to have a little bucket list moment. In case you guys don't know, I was invited up to the booth and was part of the meet coverage, and I got to announce some of the meet of champions last Wednesday at Pennsauken, and it was just an incredible moment. I didn't realize how fast-paced everything is, and just
you
trying
were the star of the show. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't go that far.
And no. You were there, and you were able to be a part of the 100-meter state record.
I was there on the call for that event and the 400 hurdles, and
yeah.
Phil Grove, man, you are an absolute pro. It just watching him at his craft was unbelievable. Just like his pace and his knowledge, and he doesn't panic. I was like, "What's going on?" But okay, let me see. All right, we have 7 in this heat. But I finally got a little more comfortable as it progressed, and I just want to thank those guys. It was an absolute moment, and I don't even know where to start with what happened on the track this whole week.
Crazy.
It was absolute insanity between
high school to pros, trials,
pros, nationals. I mean, I guess there was a meet out in Oregon, and I guess there's one for Adidas coming up. It was all about New Balance Nationals and New Jersey. Holy cow, did they represent? I mean, we had multiple national champs. Westfield winning 4x8, 7:36, coming back running a 9:50 DMR, getting third, but 9:50 state record. And that's just 2 teams, of guests that we've had on in the past, and unbelievable.
It was so much fun, and we say it every week. It was an amazing weekend. We didn't even mention Quincy Williams running like a psycho,
45,
running a 45 and getting ready. I think does he have the top time going into trials? It's got to be close.
I would hope not. I mean,
I don't know. It's close. He's right up there. And
you had an 11th grader running 2 flat. You had a freshman running a 147. You had it was just
a Kenyan running the 800, the third fastest all time. You had Ethiopians in the 10K.
2 kids breaking 4 minutes in a high school meet.
We say it every week. It's an amazing week every week on the track. And you mentioned Phil Grove last week's show. Phil jumped in, and it was so much fun talking to him about the upcoming things and picking his brain. If you want to go give last week's show a watch, it was amazing. Phil's just a wealth of knowledge. But before we get into the fun stuff, me and Dave could really go on for that forever. Today's Monday, June 17, 2024, episode number 93. And we are on our quest with YouTube and X. If you are watching on either, hello, hi. If you are watching on Facebook, what is going on? We appreciate that. Everybody watching everywhere you are, and give us a like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Spread this word of mouth. Say it's the greatest track show ever, and Sidious Mag and Flow Track don't exist. No, I'm kidding. We love all you guys over there.
They're awesome.
But, we're on the quest for YouTube subscribers. We're trying to get to 50. We're almost there, Dave. We are at 45. We jumped up to 5. And for X followers, we're up 5. We're up to 1,037 on the quest to 1,250 there. I think I lowered it. It was 1,500 before. Let's do 1,250. Let's make this a little more attainable. So let's get there, everybody. And before we jump in with our guests, would be remiss if we did not mention that early registration still going on for the 3rd annual River Rock and Run 5K. Our buddy Adam Nalvin putting it on again, November 16th. It is a new course, and all of the proceeds go to fulfill the Mammoth and Ocean Food Bank just in time for Thanksgiving. And afterwards, go get some food, drink some beers if you're of age. If you're not, maybe have a cider or something, and not a hard one. Don't do it. Don't be that way. But we're going to jump into PRs, but before we do that, we're going to bring in our guests because I'm making that a habit. I want to bring in our guests because the PRs, we just sit there and ramble on and then they just hang out. But I'm excited this week because we have our first ever high school athlete on the live stream. We've had him before, but, no pressure to this young lady, but she's used to pressure. She's a fantastic runner. And we also have her coach with her. We have Sofia Day, and we have Coach Dan Heyman. Sofia is a junior distance runner over at Mainland Regional High School, and Coach Heyman coaches there. What is going on, everybody? Whoa, there you go.
Hello.
How's it going? So we're excited to have you guys on. So Sophia, I know you listened a few times before. Coach, I don't know if you listen, but this is the time where Dave and I ramble about some PRs. People that send us PRs, which, Coach, will be coming after you next for sending us PRs of your athletes. But I'm going to start off. Tom's River North sending us a bunch this week and wrapping up what was an absolutely incredible season. It hurts Dave to say it every single week, but Tom's River North outshines South by a lot. And they were really good.
Not in the 90s.
But
when I was there.
They certainly did. But give it a shout out. 400 hurdles, Mordecai Ford, 52.85, second at the Meet of Champs. Their 4x1 ran a 41.70 at first at the Meet of Champs. Their 4x4, 314.61, school record for both of those, first at Meet of Champs. And then they had their sprint medley, 325.69, school and short conference record, third at New Balance Nationals. Freshman Taj Wilson ran a 159.75 in the 800, set a new PR there. Freshman Jack Baker, 43-foot shot as a freshman. And then they had some non-PRs, but just some great results. Shuttle hurdles took second at New Balance Nationals, 59.85. Their 4x4 took fourth at New Balance Nationals, 314.67. Barely didn't get their PR there. And Jael Hester, third in the freshman long jump at New Balance Nationals, 22.4. So
freshman, 22.4.
Locked and loaded for next year and beyond. So congrats to North. Everything they did. You mentioned Westfield. We had former guests. We had Emma Zawatsky taking care of business over in the 1600 at Meet of Champs. Jimmy was choosing, coming back from injury, 3200 winning there. So just a slew of our past guests and people that we enjoy talking to, doing great things. Dave, do you have anything else in terms of PR wise?
There's too many, and I am convinced that high school kids now are not the same.
They're not human.
Yes, they're not the same species.
We're talking about you.
We were when we were in high school, because you had an 11-year-old running a 2 flat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A freshman ran a 147. A freshman.
Now, Coach, I definitely want to talk to you about that because I have a theory. I think everyone's too damn fast right now, but we'll talk about that. So do you guys have any PRs before we want to go? Coach, do you have any PRs to shout out over the past few weeks? Sophia, anything from you? You were a group 1,600 and 800 meter champion. Any PRs in either of those?
Yeah, I was able to get 459 outdoor. I've gotten 454 indoor during a relay, but that was one of my main goals during the spring season. So I was happy to get that at States this year.
And we all know that a relay split just doesn't count as a PR,
I know. Yeah. So I had to get that time before the season ended. So I was glad I got it at States.
Love it.
Yeah, I do love to give kudos to athletes when they run those in the relays. But, man, when I was there, I was like, that's my relays PR. My toe didn't touch the line. I didn't start from scratch. I had to run it. So it's different. All right, so I want to get into this right away because we're pumped again. Once again, thank you guys so much for coming on. We appreciate it. Sophia, I'm jumping in with you. Like I said, you've listened to the show a few times before, so you probably know what's coming. Yes. We want to talk about your journey as an athlete. And the first thing we want to ask you about is, when did you get the spark to become a runner? What made you want to start dedicating yourself to the sport?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I was always really competitive. And at our elementary school here, we have something called a Dolphin Mile. And we run a mile at the school like twice a year. And I would always try and like beat the boys or the girls. And I think I was just the competition and just feeling good after getting, like, I would always reach for different times every year. So getting that time made me like happy. So I just stuck with running, and it's what I love, and I like to keep doing it.
Now, Coach, I'm going to throw that question to you. Coach, were you a runner as a youth?
Yes. We're talking about the dark ages. There was no internet, phones were wired. We're talking like, I got to be around for a lot of the early stuff, but and for my friends that are at home tuning in, I think I'm making fun of this, but where we are in South Jersey back then was almost considered like the middle of nowhere. It's not like it is now. And it was like you only knew about other people like almost by word of mouth. We had no idea what was going on up north. The running culture wasn't really big, and so we only did something because our friends did. So one of my friends was a strong runner, and he was in high school when I was in middle school. I'm like, I want to do that too. So just by copying your friends or doing what someone else in the neighborhood you start doing it. So I ended up, picking it up and then running into high school and my career died in college, and I went to start doing road races. But for all you kids out there that are hanging it up, if you just go and do the road races, you'll kill everybody because they're not training at the level you were. So you can clean up all those little 5Ks and 10Ks, and
yeah, you're still in great shape. So you're good.
I'm a better coach than I am a runner.
You're talking to two more right here, so you're
sorry, yes.
here, okay? So yeah, and it's funny that you said that because Dave is also a Dark Ages person, but I kind of had like the beginning of the internet when I was like coming into high school. Like we had MySpace and Facebook was just starting, with us. So, but still, even at that point, it was like, where the hell's Egg Harbor? Why is Manchester going down there? What's up, Buna? Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we going down there for? So it's like, that was like, still was a similar thing. Like, and it was always made me mad.
I was always
people never went there. You guys always went a little more north or stayed right in the central area. We were your redheaded stepsister and we were sent down south.
I always had to go down to South Jersey, man. It was at Burlington County, like the community college one year or something like that.
You might know this. The South Jersey track coaches, we cut you out of South Jersey. Like we redraw the map so that Ocean County isn't.
I mean, yeah, like because like
we're okay.
No, we won 3 straight state sectionals, but we were never able to get any of the South Jersey coaches awards. Like we were down there, but we couldn't get any of the awards. Like you guys have the short conference, but I'm like, yeah, but the short conference has CBA, so I want to get the awards down south.
But South Jersey, South Jersey is beautiful. Anyone goes down there to visit, you go to Cape May, you go to
awesome, yeah.
There's beautiful places and things like that. The only negative is you guys are all Philly sports fans. So there's our problem down there, but I don't blame you. It's like 35 minutes to get to a Philly game. If you want to go to a Giants game, it's like 2 hours. So I don't blame you guys, or a Jets game. I don't blame you guys. We're here to talk track, though. So we kind of digress with our little Jersey battle between the three of us. So with that spark happening, Sofia, I want to hear about some of your favorite memories of when you started running up to now.
Yeah. So I started running some 5Ks with my mom. So I always like looking back to those photos and memories with her. But also middle school, running with that team and just becoming like, because no one really knew about cross country yet until middle school. So we were all figuring it out. And we ended up being able to go to the championships for middle school. So that was a big moment for all of us. And now those people are seniors this year, so we were able to go to Cal's all together. So it's just been cool to stay with the same people and make the same memories as we were in middle school.
I mean, that's always good, and making those memories. But talk about some of them. So you know some of your cross country memories, some of your things that you did, like some of your favorite moments. We want to hear about it. Give us some stories that you maybe shouldn't tell Coach. Like, what do we got?
Yeah. Definitely one of the bigger memories for this year was going to Nike Nationals with my DMR team. That was really exciting. We were able to get All-American, and I think all of us were really wanting to do good, but to get All-American, we just finished the race and we were all shocked, and we ran and hugged each other, and it was a really great experience. And that's always been one of my goals in high school, is to be All-American. So to get that with my relay team was really special. But yeah.
I say it every week. There's nothing better than doing something on a relay with your teammates.
Yes.
Individual's great. It's wonderful. But if you are afforded the chance to be great and to have teammates that are also great with you, nothing better.
And and I haven't got to ask any of the other athletes this, but how does it feel knowing that you're like the anchor of that group? Like, there is something to being said about, when you're the current number one on the team. It's one thing. It's not a big thing, but there's a hierarchy to running. The times make it obvious, right? How does it feel knowing that, you're in the tough spot a lot of the times? You're anchoring, you're there. How does it feel knowing that everyone else did their job and you came in and also did yours for the team?
Yeah, I prefer anchoring relays. I just get really excited seeing everyone running, and then it's my turn to help out. But yeah, we have a lot of good athletes in that DMR team. So I think we all were really nervous before, but we all are on the same like goals lines and everything. So we all talk to each other. And I think just having each other there to be like, we've done hard races before and we know the times we can hit. So let's show up for New Jersey and try and get our goals for the season. But yeah, it's definitely I get nervous before races, but I think once I'm running, it all goes away and I just focus on my goals or just competing.
So, Coach, how great is it sitting next to your top athlete, knowing that it matters that much to her that her teammates get involved and that it's not just about her? Because, sometimes you get the best kid on the team and they kind of get a little like, I don't really want to run on a relay because I have a open mile coming up. It has to be nice knowing that your top athlete is all about what's best for the team.
Absolutely. I mean, Sophia's a great team person. She'll do anything they ask. They want her to run a mile relay, even though she's on her third race or she's dead, she'll do it anyway, just to help the team. She's always been like that. And she's finding out, how long it is when she finally started doing spring that, wow, I'm running a lot of races. But she never says no to when they call her number to do that. So it's she's absolutely a team player through and through.
Yeah.
So you have a weird, situation this year where you've seen a lot of these girls that you competed with in outdoor in XC and in indoor, but poof, you were gone for the first 2 seasons of outdoor, right? You didn't run outdoor for your first 2 years. And you talked about, before the show about having to give up some of your favorite sports. What has that been like as you've become a better runner, giving up the other sports to jump in and commit to running? And what was that like, having these discussions with coach, with your family, because that's never easy to do.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I would always do as many sports as I could get into. Once I was in middle school, I ended up dropping some sports running, and my family would always tell me how, like, in high school I would have to choose, like, I can't do everything. So when the time came that I did have to stop doing lacrosse, I was really upset because of the teammates. I would miss them and my coaching, and I think team sport is just so different from running because it is a team sport, but it is also individual, and I've always loved team sports, but but I'm really happy I did spring track because it gave me so many opportunities, and I was able to complete a lot of my goals, which was a reason why I went to spring track. And I feel like it's so different from winter track, the environment, and there's so many more athletes showing up. So it was just really cool to be involved in all of it this year and to reach those goals and to do.
And so you finally have your first year of being a true distance runner where you have summer, fall, winter, and spring. And now it's right back into the summer training.
Yes, definitely. Yeah.
It's a whole year.
Yeah. It was a long year, but it's fun. I already told him after nationals, I was like, I wish I had one more race because now I got to wait till cross country, but.
Yeah, it'll be a while. and to be fair, Sophia will be good at almost anything she does. She still played flag football in the mornings and practice before school. It's a club sport now, so she could, still do that. And she could have been, she would have been varsity on lacrosse. And we never pressured her to do spring track, but we all spring track the whole time. We always let it.
Yeah, of course.
When she decided to do it, very late. It was still up in the air. Even this spring, it was up in the air for a month. Yeah. We're like, I think she's going to do it. We don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm definitely grateful for, that my coaches, they never pushed me to quit any of the sports I love doing. And they always Heyman would always check in on me during lacrosse and give me different workouts to do. So when it came to the decision, it was really all my decision, but we were all very happy. And I saw some of my coaches very happy.
Well, yeah, and if it's a choice that you make by yourself and you're not forced to do it by anyone else, then you're going to give it more. It's just human nature. Like you came to the conclusion on your own. So it's something so you take ownership of it. So you're going to get more out of yourself then you're like, definitely. I'm just doing this because my mom or my coach. You have full ownership of that choice.
Yeah, and that's always a good way to look at it. And coach, I give you a ton of credit because one of the hardest things to do as a coach is just see all that talent right there, and it's like, okay, I got you for this season, I got you next season, and God, this is all the work that we put in those 2 seasons. It's for this, it's for me to champs outdoor, it's for nationals, and there you are going to do something else. And it's like
I would have been calling mom every week. Hey, mom. Hey,
last year before.
Were you sitting there at some meets and outdoors for freshmen and sophomore? Yeah, were you sitting there at some meets going, okay, Sofia would have probably placed there, or she would have won this meet.
So you know what? she's there.
You just try to
now.
You say it every time, and you try not.
Yep.
Definitely. So, do you have any regrets, Sophia, about giving up any of the sports that you gave up for track? Or at this point, are you full steam ahead? I enjoyed my time, but I'm dedicated to running at this point.
Yeah, I definitely don't have any regrets because I've always known that I wanted to go competitive for running in college. So when it came to this year, I realized that like I could push myself harder. So I don't have any regrets because I was able to accomplish a lot that I wanted to. But I definitely miss the team and the coaches. But I see them in school and everything. So I don't have any regrets. I do miss the team, but I'm happy I put myself first and thought about my goals and what I want to achieve because I worked so hard in fall and winter. So I wanted to make sure I made the most of high school running.
Is it nice knowing that you didn't have to shift gears in terms of training mentality? Like you could just roll right in, like, okay, XC, shifting down a little bit lower, but, still running distance. And from indoor, okay, I'm still doing basically the same thing. I can just go do it outside more now for outdoor. Like I don't have to shift in the lacrosse mode or things like that. Like, was it nice to sit there and just be able to stay in the same mindset and like the goals that you set at the beginning of the year were now a consistent thing instead of a, hey, see you in the summer? Like, was that easier?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like freshman and sophomore year, I was really focused on cramming everything in winter track to reach the certain goals. So it was nice this year to be able to spread it out. I was able to focus more on the mile, which sophomore year I focused more on the 8. So being able to just have time to keep on training and focusing on the mile and the 8 instead of just having to choose one because of one season was nice.
Yeah. So, Coach, do you have to coach any differently when you have someone of Sophia's talent, or do you kind of just treat her and coach her as if you would coach anyone else on the team?
Well, full brag, we've had a great run for a lot of years with our program. We were talking before about my 0203 MOC teams, and we had Alyssa Aldridge and Kevin Ansack. There was that tradition of greatness that has been going on for quite a while. And the Waitons, going back to Waiton and Scott when I had Scott, because you guys actually remember some of those, so I can say those names.
I used to race those Waiton boys.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and all of them are involved, like as far as following, like they want to hear how Sophia is doing, and they really get into it. And for years, like the joke I'd have about me is like, if there's anything going wrong, I'd throw more miles at it. We're going to throw more miles this week and more miles. But to your question, like with Sophia, she's probably, she's different. She's more like Jimmy Weiner, like in a way, like it took me a while to figure it out. Like we stuck her in the 2 mile her freshman year in indoor because I don't think you went on vacation a couple times and missed a month of running. I'm like, well, just come back with something where you're not killing yourself. And we kept her in that 2 mile. She made the meet of champions, but you got the sense when workouts were happening. And I had this certain things, and every coach does things they like to do, and your philosophy. But we had to bend it a little bit because I started noticing that Sophia really gravitated towards that fast twitch stuff more than anybody else I'd had in years. And so, we weren't throwing more miles and everything. We were throwing less miles and seeing what we could get away with. Maybe we threw a little too little sometimes, but it's definitely more. And everybody likes to say they really individualize it, but in this case, really did. And she does do a lot of those things that all those people did before her do, but hers is a little bit different. It's more of a little more middle distance focused than any of the other people before her, even Jimmy at the time. So it's working out.
So you mentioned that she made a meet of champs 3,200, her freshman year. I think it's awesome, this stat that you have made the meet of champs every single year that you have ran, Sophia. How does that feel to let me tell you, I ran and I was a pretty good runner at Manchester. I didn't make the meet of champs once. I was a county and conference champion in the 800. I never made it. So it's like, I want to live through you when it comes to this. How cool is that, knowing that you're doing something that is pretty special? And just talk about how difficult it is to continue to do that. And do you kind of feel pressure on yourself now? Like, all right, I at least got to make the meet of champs in one event.
Yeah, it's really great. Freshman year, that was states and meet of champs and moving up in the placings for each one. So being able to just look back and realize I've been doing it for this long is really great. I don't think I realized how fast senior year was going to come. So I didn't really think about it, but to look back and see how many seasons like it had to take to make it was great. And New Jersey is such a competitive state right now. So just being able to make it to meet of champs state and have all these experiences is great, and it's just freshman year, so I'm really thankful.
Now, Coach, from your perspective, have you had another athlete that has just not missed in terms of meet of champs? Now, like, you have other athletes, like injuries happen, so maybe they don't make it that year, but it's like just to have an athlete that is just so consistently getting in every single time she competes. Have you had another athlete that's done that from freshman year till now?
Yeah, Alyssa Alter was pretty close. She did miss a meet of champions once, but was in there all the time. But it's Sofia's batting 1,000, and I don't think I've ever had that. And she finishes out 3 more seasons. I think that record can't be beat. But as you do, you always move that line a little further up. Now, I'm sure all the people you've had on this have said that before. You're always looking for the next thing, and sometimes it's nice to step back and look how great it's been. I'm glad you're doing that for her right now to say how wonderful it's been, because sometimes usually, but it's been such a great time so far that I'd love to see her get the next 3 meet of champs and be there. It's just people say that. That's going to be on our mind now.
And it's funny, and I think at this point it just all comes down to your health, Sofia. And we obviously you've been healthy for your career, but we see the talent's there. You're going to progress. You're going to get faster. So as long as you stay healthy, that's going to be as good as gold, right? You're going to make the next 3 meet of champs. And that's exciting, right? That is absolutely exciting that you are going to get to that point. I'm going to, knock on wood so I don't jinx anything here. I'm going to make sure that I do that. But that's really, really cool. Yeah. So I'm pumped for that. And we're going to keep track of that now, Dave. We have something to keep track of. So when Sofia does do that, we're going to message NJSIA and be like, what is the record for never missing meet of champs? So we could see if we can get her.
I'm sure it's happened.
Game somewhere.
I'm sure it's happened.
Well, we got to get her somewhere. Get her a plaque or something cool.
So Coach, I have a question. Back when I was running in the 90s, we used to love when the South Jersey kids would have to come up to the groups to Homedale Park. How do you attribute now to it doesn't seem like there's that much of a difference now, because it used to be, let's get those South Jersey kids up here and we'll have an easier time. Now I feel like for whatever reason, the hills don't seem to bother you guys as much as maybe they did back 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, we've got a little better at finding places that have a hill, because there's not many. We use bridges and we find little, side drainage things that run up that we use, and we sneak in our hills. We used to back in the dark ages, we used to just drop dead when we got to Homedale. We had it was a punch in the gut as soon as you started the race. Hey, we didn't practice on these at all. So we've gotten a little wiser in our time, and we make our fair amount of trips up to Homedale in the summer, and I'll sneak up there and get in there when they don't make an effort to get those things done, like you said, though. But it is tough. We have to go out of our way to find ways to do that.
So now, Sofia, we are heading in, season's done, this year's done, you're heading into your senior year. What is your summer training plan for this year? And Coach, you could jump in with this as well. We don't want to give away too much inside baseball, even though you guys you're probably sharing everything on Strava anyway, so it doesn't matter. But what is your no? I see no for Strava. Yes, Coach. Yes, but what is the summer training plan in terms of mileage and things like that? Because Coach was saying you guys are kind of dialing mileage down instead of throwing more miles at it. So as you're sitting there and you're trying to hit better times, obviously you're trying to win, the whole state. You're trying to become the Meet of Champions champion at this point. What is the summer training plan? Coach, Sofia, whichever you guys want to jump in with this one.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to get my miles back up, and just to stay healthy and to have a good base for my 3 seasons, because like he said, this year I didn't really know I was doing spring track. It was hard to prepare early on this year to see the difference in preparing earlier during cross country season to go all 3 seasons. But yeah, that's
yeah.
I said I don't throw more miles.
So we're having a little bit internet troubles with you guys, but that's okay. We'll work through them.
Yeah,
a little bit skippy. We'll work through it. But
Glitches when we're lying.
So, Coach, I wanna ask you, when you have someone like her who wants to rev her mileage up now, how do you handle that in terms of protecting herself? Because she's ready to go. She's had her first 3 full seasons, and now it comes into, you've tasted all this greatness. You know what you can do. Let's keep you healthy. Let's dial it back. Let's not go from 40 miles to 80. Like, let's figure out a healthy thing for you. What is that like for you as a coach? Trying to figure out a good plan with her and keeping a high school kid from not, doing too much when you can't watch them.
Well, saving them from themselves, I call that. There's certain kids where you have to save them from themselves, but Sofia trends fast twitch, so she won't let me overdo the miles. She'll fight me on it after a while anyway, but she knows that she needs to do more than she was, but not in a role. And so we were fairly low this spring, so to go up, it won't even get up to crazy territory. So there'll be a governor on that a little bit before we even get to that point where it's getting off the rails, and then it'll be by that time we hit that a little bit anyway. So we'll build it carefully. We'll take our time, and because of her goals of running in college, we're going to look at it now. Now that we know that she's running all year round, we can take a little more time to build that base, so we can safely. We don't have to rush to it. Like if that's when we knew we had fall and winter, we would rush to get going because it's over. It could be over as early as mid-February. So we did rush that stuff up, but now it's like she can take her time. She won't run for a couple of weeks, and then we'll build it back up safe and slow.
Yeah. And like with someone of her caliber, even early XC meets, you can just train through them.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be college visits on a lot of those weekends, so it's actually saving a lot of those colleges want to see her in September weekends. So when I had strong teams in the past, we would just not even do that many September invites. Now probably in Sofia as well. It will come in a little later, but will last longer. So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely good mapping out. And I remember the one meet that we used to run in Manchester all the time is the Cherokee Challenge, the 2 mile. I don't know if it still goes on.
Yeah, it does.
Man, I love the Cherokee.
That's the big,
fast.
That's the big early season meet because it's only 2 miles.
It's fun. You just sit there and it's like, oh, I don't have to run a 5K. I can go run fast. And it's like, imagine 2 miles, run fast. In XC, it's like I can go run fast. Like you just go blitz that, and it's a great freaking time. So that was the one like meet that it was like. Every other meet, it was kind of like go tempo. If you were going to run an early meet, just go tempo it, have fun. But it was like the Cherokee, it was like, all right, reins off, go run a fast 2 mile, enjoy yourself. It's an XC 2 mile. Don't push each other too hard, like literally push.
Now that class meet thing, makes you want to go faster than your class. So it's from that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sometimes it's a little counterproductive. Yes.
It can be. So, Sofia, with you going in, everyone knew who you were going into this season, obviously. We knew who you were. You were a fast runner already, but now you're a senior. You're going to be up there with one of the leaders. Every race that you're in, it's going to be, where's Sofia Day from Mainland? She here? Like, oh, okay. And there's going to be, and I remember, like, it was the fun part of going through it at times where you would hear coaches going, hey, if you just run with them, you're going to have a good race. And it's like, leave me alone. Like, don't run with me. Go away. I don't want you to run with me. But it's like, so what is that going to be like? And is it are you like licking your chops for some of the competition and some of the girls? Like, you see Paige Shepard, obviously, and things like that. Like, are you licking your chops for a chance to like really have at these girls with 3 full seasons and getting up to your full potential this year?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this year. I know a lot of the girls in my grade, so I like seeing them at meets, but being the senior this year, I am really excited to step up. And I remember my freshman year, I would always really excited that I was able to put myself in to start senior year like this. But it is unreal to just think that I'll be like one of those people that other girls look up to.
Yeah,
You're that girl that when you were a freshman girl and you were probably like still 4'6", those girls that are 5'4", 5'5", 5'8" look like they're massive. And now you're that taller girl that the 14-year-old freshman is going to be like, oh my God, I'm standing next to Sofia in the start box. Oh my God, I got to be near her. Like, listen, we all had those moments when we were like freshman year, you're stepping in and you're like, whoa, they're a giant and they're fast. Like, we all had those, but like it is a kind of pinch me moment. Now, I want to jump into college recruiting. Have you started that process? What has that process been like?
Yeah.
And I also want to ask, have any of the episodes with some of our other high schoolers kind of given you a little bit of insight about what you kind of want to look for in the college recruiting process?
Yeah, so in the beginning of junior year, I started reaching out to schools, and they started reaching out to me. And it's just been a great experience to know more about the different colleges and to meet the coaches that I've always followed on Instagram or LinkedIn. The opportunity to talk to D1 schools has just been amazing and something I've been working for since I was little. But yeah, it's been a great experience. I love meeting all the teammates and see the college more and meet the teammates.
Definitely. Those are fun. The official visits are a good time. They roll out the red carpet, and that's always a good time. So, Coach, for your part, we know how important it is that coaches that are involved absolutely help their athletes in terms of this process. How have you been in terms of trying to facilitate and help her out with, getting her talking to some of these coaches and things like that? Because, I mean, that comes part of the whole entire package of being a coach.
Yep.
Yeah, like her family's very involved too in a good way. Like you have parents involved in a poor way, but this is her parents' raises. They're really great, and I just tell you, if they have questions about how to get things started or do things, the spring track thing. I don't give too hard of an opinion on anything to Sofia. I just lay out what you might like or might not like about something that you're looking for, because she'll know when she goes on visits. It's everything seems like it's starting so much earlier. When one of her teammates started the process a year before, Jillian Lovett, they came to me and said, "Hey, how do we get this thing going?" And I'm like, "Well, you only get 5 visits." And I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, that's not true. You can get a bazillion visits, so you really have to start thinking this 12 visits, and then you're going to be parallel." So I just throw things out there, and we communicate often about things like that, and I always make her rate them. I say, "Hey, you check the school out. Give me a 1 to 10. You don't have to tell me why it's a 1 to 10. Just this school one's in that range." But her social media game is so strong; they're finding Sofia much easier, and she's going to have to sift through it a little bit. But officials, like you guys said, it's going to be the deciding factor. You're just going to know when you go to a place. That we're looking forward to that. So we're looking forward to that.
Definitely, and that's going to be a fun time. So the last thing I want to ask you about, Sofia, is marketing yourself is something that is big. And that's something that we learned from a lot of the athletes that we had, that they made it a point to know that it's not only an interview for you interviewing to go be at the school, you're also interviewing that school, because that's going to be your home for 4 years, maybe 5 if you do graduate, whatever it is. What are you looking for in a school in terms of not only athletics, obviously that's important, but in terms of academics, in terms of social, what are your big points that you're looking for as you're evaluating schools?
Yeah. So a big thing for me has always been a good team connection, and that everyone feels like a family, because especially in high school, that's been really good for if we're down some meets, like just having a good team, coach and athlete connection has also been another big thing for me. I'm not too picky with weather. I thought I wanted to run south, but I'm not. I really don't care what the weather is, but I've also a lot of it.
Good. So it sounds like you're wide open. You don't have anything set in stone, and you just want to kind of see what every school has to offer. I think that's the best way to go into it, because you might have something in your mind and go see somewhere else, and it might be just absolutely perfect for you. So keep an open mind.
Yeah.
And as you keep an open mind, I would like to pitch, Rutgers University, right? Where Rutgers, or Marist doesn't hurt either. Just go.
Don't listen to us. Go where you want to go.
I'd like to pitch, staying close, going to one of those.
Go where you want to go.
It's not like you don't have any connections there or anything, but yeah, no. Go where you want to go. Go where it feels like home, and that you are gonna love and you're gonna be there, and go where you're gonna kick some ass and become a national champion.
And then we will have you back on when you're kicking butt in college.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Sofia, Coach, we appreciate you guys coming on. Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely.
So once again, she is Sofia Day. She is a junior rising into senior year at Mainland Regional High School in New Jersey. And he is Coach Dan Heyman. And we appreciate having them both on. That is our first live high school athlete on the live stream. We've had others before, but she is the first. And she was fantastic. And she's going to do some amazing things this upcoming indoor and outdoor. I think the whole entire state
and cross country
for her. Yeah, and cross country. The state needs to watch out for her because she's never had a full season plus summer training. So I'm expecting some special things. And also anyone that comes on Talking in Ovals does special things. So we have that luck, and we appreciate you, Coach, for coming on. You seem like somebody who I would have loved being coached by. You just seem like you're so, involved in the right way and push the right button. So, your connection between you two is fantastic. So appreciate you both for coming on. We wish you guys both the best. And anything else you guys have to say before we jump out of here?
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, Dave, you have anything?
We're going to start following the show. I'm going to go back in this summer. I'm going to hear a lot more. You guys are great.
Lambert Scott, yeah, he's been on a few times, and he will be on many, many more times. He's the best. I mean, we always say it, Sophia, go back and listen to the Julie Cully episode. Yes. It's absolutely just, as a female runner, to hear her journey is absolutely unbelievable.
And Vicky Huber-Radowski is very important if you want to talk, because she talked about, battling. No, was it Vicky? No, it wasn't Vicky. Sorry, Vicky. You were all
Noelle Whitehall.
That battling eating disorders and things like that while being an incredible runner, national champion, while battling through it. And it's, important topics. And she's someone, if you got in contact with her, she would tell you the story herself, and they're inspirational people. But definitely go listen to Vicky too, because Vicky was freaking awesome. But anyway, thank you so much for coming on, everybody. Thank you so much for watching out there, everyone on YouTube, everyone on X, everyone on Facebook. We appreciate it all. Give us a like, share, follow, subscribe, wherever you are. Spread this word of mouth. The best running show on the planet is right here. And go help us get to our 50 YouTube subscribers, 1,250 X followers. And we'll be back next week with another great show, as we always are. Everybody, so long.